The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, 90 days of boxing, day number 88. We're here. We're coming into that home stretch now where, it's been such a long, such a tough, such a arduous, but very fruitful journey. I have enjoyed going live every day for the last damn near 90 days. I got some great things planned for the channel once all this is done. So definitely stay tuned. And just because this is done, this will be over soon, doesn't mean I'm going to be going live like only once every 5 days or anything like that. I'll still be going live very regularly. So I think throughout this process, we've grown together as a community here on True School Sports, and yeah, it's been great, man. So yeah, tomorrow, just so you guys know, I wanna make this very known here. So anybody watching live and anybody watching the playback, and I may have to do this again tomorrow on tomorrow's live. I'll be doing that raffle. For those of you that don't know, yesterday on my community post, I announced that I'm doing a special raffle for the boxing fans. All you got to do is go to the community post and comment down with your name below, and your name will be entered into a hat. And then at the end of tomorrow's live, we'll pick it out of the hat, and you could get a chance to win some one-of-a-kind boxing memorabilia, such as this right here. Look, so here's one of the things you could win. So this is a Naoya Inoue Japanese newspaper from when he fought. I think it was when he beat Marlon Tapales. So this is straight from Japan. So you got that. You got Naoya Inoue here punching up on Marlon Tapales. That newspaper, you can win that as well. And then this Terrence Crawford picture frame from when he fought Spence, and it has my accurate prediction in the picture as well. So one of a kind boxing memorabilia for the fine folks, the best subscribers in the world. Auction raffled off tomorrow. All you gotta do, it's free. All you gotta do is go to my community post on this channel, comment your name down below, and you'll be entered into a hat, and we'll pick it out of a hat tomorrow. So yeah. That being said, let's talk some boxing, guys. I'm a little gassed right now because shout out to my Florida Panthers. They just won the Atlantic Division, so the NHL playoff starts this weekend, and I already bought my tickets for games 1 and 2, so I will be there in South Florida in the flesh to watch the Panthers versus Lightning, games 1 and 2. Very excited about it. Exciting times of life, but we still got boxing to talk about, guys. We know that it is, in fact, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. It's fight week for this fight. There's been a lot of build-up, a lot of weird stuff going on, and it never ends. Every day something new with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, and we'll get into all that. I'm not sure if there's going to be a live yet for the fight because I'm waiting to see when the Panthers play. But let me see. Hey, Susam says, Saludo, what's good, champ? I want to acknowledge some people here. By the way, there's 13 of you guys here. I only have 1 like. Guys, don't be stingy. I know it's the end. I feel like sometimes you guys are getting tired of me. Maybe you guys are seeing me too much. So maybe I might gotta just disappear for a little bit. So show some love. Smash that like button and let the YouTube algorithms know that you guys like True School Sports. You fuck with the boxing talk and the boxing content delivered here on this platform. So yeah, do that, and that'd be a great help to the channel and to the boxing fans that aren't subscribed to True School Sports. But shout out to Red. Shout out to my guy James Valdez. He said he just came in here to smash the like button. Good to see you. Jesus M says Wilder to Matchroom. Yeah, listen, it's crazy. It's crazy what money can do. What did Lauren Hill say? Lauren Hill said, "It's funny how money can change the situation." And money has changed the situation between Eddie Hearn and Deontay Wilder in a major way. First, he was calling him a slave master. He said that Anthony Joshua was just another black man being milked by a white man. And guess what? Now he's working with that white man that was milking Anthony Joshua. So that's why you gotta always be careful what you say. Always stay humble, because you never know what could happen in life. Anyway, I continue. Next Gen Combat, good to see you, champ. Enrique says almost. BT, the 90 days is almost up. It almost is, man. So we're gonna close it out strong. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be raffling off these Inoue Japanese newspapers, as well as the Terrence Crawford picture frame with my prediction on it. One of a kind memorabilia for the boxing fans here on True School Sports. And then Thursday we'll have Sean Tatel to come on here and close it out with me on the 90th day, the illustrious 90th day. There will be no live Friday. And I'm not sure what I'm doing Saturday as of yet, but I'll let you guys know about that soon. But let's talk some boxing, guys. He says, what are your thoughts on Bill Haney saying he wants his son to kill Ryan Garcia in the ring? One thing I love about Bill Haney, and I love Bill Haney. I got all the love in the world for the OG, the master OG, the triple OG, Bill Haney. He's actually subscribed to this channel. Um, Bill Haney is a master politician. He knows what to say and when to say it. I don't really think he wants Devin to kill his son. I feel like that's something he's saying about Ryan just to hype the fight up and sell more. I don't really think that's gonna happen. So I don't think he really believes that in his heart. I think once the fight is done, no matter how it plays out, you'll get Ryan and Devin hugging each other out. You'll get Bill talking about how lovely Mrs. Garcia is. It's just normally, this is normal fight week build up type stuff. So that's how I'm seeing it. Shout out to my guy Soda Pop, my man Soda Pop. I see you, champ, from Las Vegas. Yeah, good shout out to Soda Pop. It was a pleasure meeting you out in at Bones Adams Gym. I saw you in there shadow boxing doing your thing, man. It was good, man. Keep up the good work and keep training hard. Good to see you. And it was nice to be recognized. So hope all is well. He said my man BT, my man Soda Pop. Soda Pop was good. Yeah, it's a big fight week. I feel like the great thing about boxing is, and this is what I love about boxing is, any fighter can go in there and run their mouth and give it they can sell wolf tickets, as they say. But when you get in that boxing ring, the truth will be revealed. So we're gonna see if Ryan Garcia has just been acting, because I was watching one of his lives yesterday, and he said he's just been acting. He said he's just been acting and playing an improv role, and he's been playing it way too well. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see if he really took camp serious. I had Rick Laser on here a couple days ago. He said that he's heard Ryan's been training hard, and Ryan's been taking camp serious. So we'll see. And we'll see if Devin Haney has the mental focus, discipline to not let all these antics from Ryan Garcia get him off track and get him off course, which I don't think he will, because I think what Devin Haney showed his whole career thus far is that he is a true professional. He has exhibited the behavior and the discipline of a true professional. So I think Devin will be all right. But you guys already know, like, if you've watched my take on the fight, I made it very known how I think this fight's going to play out. I think Devin Haney will win, but I don't think it's going to be by knockout, and I don't think it'll be by decision. I think Devin Haney is going to win this fight by disqualification, because I genuinely feel to the core of my bones Ryan Garcia is going to be getting outboxed. I think before he looks for a way out, his way out will be, dirty tactics, which he's already kind of said to Devin. I'm gonna elbow you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I don't really believe a lot of things he's been saying, but when he said that, I actually believe him, because Ryan Garcia's mind is all over the place. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on him on fight night to deliver. When Devin starts boxing him from the outside, and we get past those first 3 rounds, because Ryan will be strong for them early rounds. Once we get past that and Devin settles into a nice rhythm and starts out boxing him and lighting him up from the outside, I think Ryan will look for a way out, and it won't be in the same way he did in the Tank fight. He's going to look for a way out in the form of illegal tactics and a disqualification. I think, honestly, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or anybody that's negative, but like I really feel that Ryan Garcia, like Ryan Garcia and Devin is not going to deliver on the hype. I don't think so. I want to be very wrong. I hope it's a great fight for boxing. I hope it's a classic. I hope it's Hearns versus Hagler. Just a classic fight, because I understand that Devin has a lot of casual fans and Ryan has a lot of casual fans. So it's very important for the health of boxing in the mainstream that this fight go well from an entertainment standpoint. So I'm not hoping for a bad fight. I'm just telling you I think it's going to end in a disqualification, which is crazy, because I've never ever in my life for once ever predicted a disqualification. So this is new even for me. I never predicted any fight to end by disqualification. I'm not even sure I've ever heard anybody in their life predict a fight to end by disqualification. But this fight's just been so, like, everything around this fight, the build up has been so weird and whatnot. And I just feel like if it's been weird, why wouldn't it end weird? It's been weird enough with Ryan. Ryan's touched on everything from politics to women to everything. So why wouldn't this end in a weird fashion? But shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT, the Untouchable, True School Sports Empire. Get your questions down below. Let me know what city, what state, what continent you guys are watching from. I want to see how international we are on the live tonight, and definitely anything you guys want to ask. I'll be here for like 50 more minutes. So yeah, get your questions in. I hope everybody's doing well in the world. I know People go through things in life, so it's just very important that you keep a positive attitude through the ups and through the downs. And probably even more so through the ups and the downs, because when you're up, that's when you kind of want to like get cocky and think that you don't need certain things in life like God or anything, but just be appreciative in all circumstances. But my man Next Gen says, I just want to see how Devin takes that first real clean thudding lick. Yeah, I mean, look, we know I was there in Vegas when Deontay Wilder, or not Deontay Wilder, when Jorge Linares fought Devin Haney, and he had that one moment in that one round where he hit Devin Haney, I believe it was with a left hook, and he had Devin on Queer Street, because that was a fight, and I think Devin deserved more credit than even I gave him at the time. It was an entertaining fight. He sat in the pocket. He fought a very aggressive fight, and he put on a good fight for the fans that night. And so I don't know. I don't believe, at least, that'll be anything that he tries to do early on in the fight. I feel like he's not gonna step to Ryan Garcia until we get to those middle rounds, those later rounds. And really and truthfully, like Devin has grown and matured as a fighter. That was 3 years ago. Fighters are entitled to progress and regress. I feel like Devin has obviously progressed as a fighter, and he understands he's more comfortable in the ring. He understands his range a lot more. So I don't think Devin's gonna come out right away and just be fighting Ryan Garcia. But look, if Ryan can land that first big shot, that's probably, to me, the really intriguing part about the fight is, number one, how does Devin react to Ryan when he lands that first punch, and then when does Devin step to Ryan, if he steps to him at all? Because the popular line of thought seems to be from people that Devin is gonna dominate Ryan from the outside and outbox him. So my thing is, if Devin Haney gets into enough of a rhythm, will he step to Ryan Garcia and walk him down and try to put that exclamation point on the fight? You know what I'm saying? We got my man Pete in the building. Shout out to Pete, Dallas, Texas, Dallas. We ain't heard. Shout out to Pete. Good to see you, champ. Julio says, much love from Puerto Rico. Shout out to all my Boricuas out there. I still want to go to Puerto Rico at some point. He says, much love from PR. Did you ever think about starting boxing, coaching, or promoting? You seem to have a lot of knowledge of the sport. It'd be nice to have more people like you deep into the sport. As far as coaching or promoting, it'll be a no on both of those. But as far as maybe like the management side, or like being an advisor to a fighter or two, I would definitely say I'm already kind of doing that. Like, I'm advising some fighters right now. I won't say I'm managing anybody right now, but I'm advising some fighters, and I'm trying to be as resourceful as I can to the fighters I know, at all levels, not just champions and contenders, but even some prospects I know. And that's I get my things done behind the scenes in boxing. I'm resourceful as I could be, but the goal at some point is going to be to manage a fighter. At least one fighter. Because I do feel like, over the years, being in boxing, going to places like LA and Texas and Vegas and New York and Japan and England, I've developed quite a lot of contacts in boxing. So I feel like for a fighter that I work with, I'd be a resourceful guy, I feel, but that's kind of where I'm at. My main goal is to be here and continue to create the best boxing content I can for the boxing fans. But at the same time, be of service to fighters that I know, and try to steer them in the best way that I can, and if I can't do it, maybe put them in touch with somebody who can steer them in the best way, like whether it be a trainer or a manager or something else. I'll be that bridge to other people in the sport for fighters, that type of thing. So that's kind of where I'm at, to answer your question really and honestly. So yeah, man, funny stuff that was happening today, right? So today, with Ryan Garcia, he was supposed to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at the New York Mets game. And he was at the ballpark for like 3 hours, supposedly. And then at the last minute, the New York Mets supposedly told Ryan and Devin, because Devin was there, Devin was supposed to throw out the first pitch as well, that neither one of them could throw out the first pitch because they felt like it could have led to an on-the-field altercation. So then Ryan got escorted out the stadium, and then Ryan went on Twitter, and he went on Instagram, and he said, basically, fuck the Mets, which, look, I don't like the Mets at all. So when he said that got me on his side. Anybody who says that gets me on their side. So that was pretty interesting to hear Ryan Garcia say that. But I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to really approach this fight. Like, what Ryan Garcia are we going to get? Like, is he just really playing a role, or is he really just this, like, all over the place, So we'll see how it goes, man. It should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, I can go live for it because I do want to go live for it. It's just I don't know if there's gonna be any scheduling conflicts with me being at the Panthers game because I am going to the Panthers game. My tickets are already bought. I've already spent like a couple hundreds of dollars to go to the game, so gonna be a fun time. But either way, there will be some sort of live regarding Devin and Ryan once I do get home, even if I don't see the fight live. So don't worry about that. But um, wanted to touch on this whole Saudi card because I know yesterday the big news in boxing was in fact the Saudi card. So I wanted to run through some of the fights and just give my take and maybe check the temperature of you guys, the boxing public, and you guys can feel free to chime in down below. Before I go individually and start breaking down every fight, let me ask you guys on that Saudi card, on that Matchroom versus Queensberry 5-on-5, which fight are you most looking forward to? There's a lot of really good matchups. 2 in the heavyweight division. You got 1 in the featherweight division. Personally, Philip Hrgovic versus Daniel Dubois is a very, very exciting fight for me because Philip Hrgovic to me is one of the best heavyweights in the world, and he hasn't been able to really get a chance to prove it against names. Daniel Dubois is a name, and he's dangerous, and he's young, and he can punch, but Hrgovic is the favorite. He should win, but I still like the fight. So just to see Hrgovic get a notable fight in his career on a big card, that's enough for me. And then outside of Hrgovic, I would definitely say Raymond Ford in his first world title defense. I've been telling you guys since before 2024 even started. I told you guys a long time ago, 2024 is going to be the year of the featherweight division, and it's delivered on that statement. That mission statement, that phrase has been proven true month after month after month in this division. He's taking on Nick Ball. Nick Ball's 5'2". He's short. He's stocky. He's built like a fire hydrant. He comes forward. It's going to be a hard fight for him. It's going to be a really difficult fight for Ford if he's not careful. I feel like Ford has the boxing smarts and the IQ to outbox him, beat him up and then outbox him. I don't think it'll stop Nick Ball, but if he could, that'd be a statement. There's a lot of good fights in the card, but let me know which one are you guys looking most forward to. What is Hrgovic's best performance against a quality opponent? All of them. You don't like Hrgovic, Hurricane Hank, so I'm not even gonna go back and forth with you about that. I would say Dempsey McKean, because he beat the shit out of him round after round after round. It wasn't a hard fight for him, and then he stopped him on his feet. And Dempsey McKean didn't even come to fight. Dempsey McKean was in survival mode from the 3rd round on. But you're gonna say he punched behind the head and he stopped him on his feet, so it is what it is. Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight Dempsey McKean. Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight Hrgovic. That's why he's fighting Dubois, because how do you reconcile Philip Hrgovic is the number 1 ranked fighter. Anthony Joshua, the number 2 spot is empty. It's vacant. Number 3 is Anthony Joshua, and number 4 is Dubois. So how on God's green earth did Hrgovic go down the list, had to bypass Anthony Joshua to get to Dubois? It's probably because Anthony Joshua doesn't want that fight right now. His handlers, Freddie Cunningham, 258 management, they don't want that fight right now, and it's okay. They can move him how they see fit, but don't sit here and tell me AJ's this and AJ's that when AJ won't even fight the guy that's number 1 in the rankings. BT, if you missed the Haney Garcia fight, I don't mind you watching it and basically reacting to it as if you were watching it live. That's a good idea. I might need to do that, but I feel like if I do that, Shinobi, there's gonna be that one guy in the comments that's just gonna tell me what happened. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing on Saturday. My man Next Gen says Wilder and Zhang. For me, I wanna see if Wakanda is finished for real. Yeah, look, he's been giving everybody the good corporate line of like, oh, I'm back. I lost my hunger, but now it's good to be back in Saudi in front of people who appreciate the Deontay Wilder who says he wants a body on his record. We'll see how it goes, man. I think Wilder is gonna have a real chance to detonate Zhang in the first couple rounds because he has a clear speed advantage, and I think he needs to use it and commit to his punches. Obviously, Zhang is a very educated counterpuncher, and he's got heavy hands, so he's got to be a little careful, very careful. But them first 2 or 3 rounds, I feel will be his best time to get Zhang out of there. But he's still gotta be careful because if Zhang time him right one time, it could be curtains for Wilder. So that's a very intriguing fight. BT, do you think it's possible for Ball to win a decision? Ford is more flat-footed than Ball. Do I think it's possible for Ball to win a decision? I mean, if Ford can't hurt him, one thing about Raymond Ford, and I like Raymond Ford. I'm going to like the guy through all of our arguments and stuff. I'm going to like him. I always liked him actually because when he was a prospect, if you go back and you watch the early videos, I always liked him from me back then. I just thought he would lose a Komatov when he did, so credit to him. But Ford, one thing you need to watch out for with Ford in this fight is his weight. You know, he's made a big deal, literally like in the ring after he won the title, in every interview he's done, including with me, that he cannot stay at the weight class very long. And I believe him. I've seen him in person. He's wide. He's a big kid for the weight. I could see him easily being a strong, solid 30-pounder. So my thing is, I bring up the weight because if the weight cut is a factor and he's sluggish in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round, that's why I feel Nick Ball has a chance to really pull away and potentially outwork him. But I feel like if Ford and Ball both fight at their best, Raymond Ford is a better fighter. He's shown that, especially his last fight, but throughout his career. I think he's got more tools in the toolbox. I think he's got dog in him. And yeah, Nick Ball, we know that he has dog. We know that he's going to come forward and throw a lot of punches. But does Nick Ball have, if that doesn't work for him, does he have anything else he could fall back on? I don't think so. He's 5'2". He's not going to be out there up jabbing Raymond Ford. So, you know, good luck to him. But as far as that fight, yeah, as far as that card, we'll start Hrgovic Dubois because that's the fight I'm most excited about. Hrgovic Dubois, really good fight. Daniel Dubois, from his side of things, Dubois is a guy that's fought a lot of names in the division. You know, guys like Joyce. We know he got beat up in that fight, and you know that was the fight where everybody said he quit. Then he fought Usyk, and I thought he got screwed in that fight. You know, I thought the body shot was just fine, but you know the referees and the judges didn't agree with it, so he had to continue fighting, and Usyk got up the canvas and stopped him. So Dubois has this tendency to be, he has this habit of being competitive in fights, but, you know, not having that grit or that gumption to get over the hump. But he's good enough to give the elites problems. He gave Joyce problems. He gave Usyk problems in small spots of that fight. If Hrgovic goes in there and dominates him from round 1 to whenever this fight ends, to me, that's a statement. That's a statement, and that should let the rest of the division know that, hey, you guys keep avoiding him, and now we see why this guy's been avoided and why he's talked about by True School Sports and people in the industry, the way he's talked about, because this dude can really, really fight with anybody in the division. So it's a really good fight. If Dubois wins, now look, I don't know what the circumstances will be for this fight because when I interviewed Keith Connolly, when I was in New York, when I interviewed Keith Connolly, he told me after the interview was done, he said, look, they're going to fight for the vacant IBF title. Now, that could still be a thing. You know, we know that Usyk and Fury is May 18th, and the IBF already mandated long ago that their belt will not be on the line for the rematch. So they're going to crown an undisputed champion, all right? And the IBF belt will more than likely go vacant. And if it goes vacant before Usyk or before Hrgovic and Dubois fights, then it'll probably be vacant for that fight. And then maybe the winner of that fight winds up fighting Anthony Joshua for the title next, because that will be the best thing to do for the division. So good fight all around. A chance for Dubois to really right some wrongs in his career and get back to winning ways. So good fight. I like that fight a lot. You know, Hrgovic, I feel, has one of the best straight right hands, in not just in the division, but in all of boxing. He's got a very good straight right hand, and it doesn't get talked about enough. Dubois has to make sure that he wins the battle of real estate with the jab so that he's in position to not just land his right hand, but get out of the way of the Hrgovic right hand, because the Hrgovic right hand, some fights, he throws his straight right hand more than his actual jab. So that's one thing to watch out for. Really good fight there. As far, I touched on Raymond Ford, Nick Ball a little bit already, so I won't touch too much longer on that one. Wilder Zhang, good fight. Like I said, Wilder will have a chance to detonate Zhang in the first 3 rounds. I feel like Zhang is gonna have to get his timing down quickly and swiftly if he wants to get a knockout himself. And that fight's going to be about who has the better stamina, who has the better conditioning, and who can land their shot first. And then what you got? Ammo Williams, Hamza Shiraz. That's an intriguing fight because Ammo Williams is a good fighter. I like Ammo. I'm not really sure how good Ammo is, to be honest with you, because he hasn't fought anybody, I feel, at this caliber. And Hamza Shiraz, you know, he's a guy that's been getting a lot of hype in the UK. But again, I don't think he's fought like, I mean, I can't think of anybody right now he's fought where I could say, you know, that guy was a killer. That guy was like, let me see. Let me check Hamza Shiraz's resume right quick because I can't remember everybody he fought right now. But I'm just saying, to me, this fight for them two is a signature moment in both their careers to like really, you know, show the world what they're about. Now Shiraz is 19-0. He got 15 knockouts. Shiraz fought Liam Williams and he knocked him out in one round his last fight, which it's a good statement because Liam Williams, we know that he's fought Andrade, he gave him a tough fight, and he's fought Eubank and got dropped like 3 or 4 times and still came back and gave him a good fight. So that is a statement. And with Shiraz, he's very tall for the weight class. He kind of fights like a more educated, more orthodox Sebastian Fundora. He's the Sebastian Fundora of the 160 division. Cause what is he? He's pushing like what? He's not like 6'6", but he's got that same frame. He's 6'3", good boxer. You know, unlike a lot of British fighters, he's actually came to the States and gotten a lot of sparring down there at Ten Goose Boxing Gym with Ricky Funes and all them. Probably Jonathan Wally as well. Shout out to Coach Wally. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, Ammo's a southpaw. He's a big power puncher, very athletic. As Hurricane Hank so eloquently pointed out, Ammo's gonna take it. He's a little crazy in the head. He's very crazy in the head. I mean, we know Ammo Williams. This is a guy that made a diss track to his own promoter. I mean, in that Eddie Hearn intro clip that they shot yesterday for the card, everyone had a nice suit on, nice dress shoes, you know, real classy. Emma Williams had an expensive black t-shirt on, black gloves, tight ass pants, men in black glasses, you know. So he's always had some screws loose. And the one time I interviewed Emma Williams, I remember a while ago he told me 2020 when I interviewed him, he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, I've been studying capoeira and all this stuff, and I'm gonna bring something to boxing nobody's ever seen before." So he's always been a bit out of the box. He's always been a little different, you know. But you know, unpredictability is the enemy, especially for a British fighter. You know, British fighters don't like unpredictability. So, good fight. You know, good fight. I think for Ammo, the key to him for this fight is going to be to get behind that really long jab of Hamza Shiraz. Shiraz likes to work behind that jab and then slowly but surely, methodically pressure you. So he can't allow that to happen, and he's going to have to get his timing down and look to counter aggressively. So, good fight there. The fight I would probably say I know the least about, not because I'm not really the most familiar with Willie Hutchinson, is the light heavyweight fight. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, I know everything about Willie Hutchinson and Craig Richards. I don't. I may have seen Willie Hutchinson fight one time, but I can't remember. It's not ringing a bell, so I'm going to have to go back to Boxrec and check to see who he fought that I may know. Now, I don't remember any of these fights on his resume, so I can't really speak much on Willie Hutchinson, but I can speak on his opponent, the Spider, Craig Richards. You know, a really interesting fighter, a guy that's, you know, been in there with some good fight. You know, been in there with top fighters. You know, Craig Richards, we know he's fought Joshua Buatsi, gave him some competitive rounds, gave him a close fight. Very long, very rangy, but doesn't necessarily impose himself on the fight. He's more one of those guys that likes to just kind of box with you, and he's kind of he's what I call a your turn, my turn kind of fighter. He has his strengths. He knows what he's good at. He doesn't fight outside of that, but he never really like imposes his will on a fight. And that's why like he knows how to use his range. That's why he gives guys like Buatsi and Bivol problems, but he's not good enough to quite get over the hump against those top upper echelon world level guys he's fought. But then when you look at the guys he's fought on the British level, like Shakan Pitters, Andre Sterling, Jake Ball, guys he wasn't even, a lot of those guys domestically he wasn't supposed to beat. He's found a way to, in some cases, knock those guys out, outbox them. So, good fight. A good fight. A winnable fight for Craig Richards. I'll tell you this, man. When I was in Vegas, I ran into my good buddy, Steve Gaffard. You know, it's one of South Florida's very own, long-time friend of the show. And I was talking to Steve Gaffard for a little bit. Many of you guys may remember Steve. He challenged Joe Smith for the world title in 2022. He said he wanted to fight Craig. So, I mean, if Craig gets past this fight, make Craig Richards versus Steve Gaffard. I like that fight for the light heavyweight division, you know? The following story says, do you think Inoue's words about America will make it more unlikely we see him live in a major American venue? I feel he manages to have the undisputed fight at 126 where Bob decides he comes to America. I don't think his words really mean much because at the end of the day, boxing's about dollars and boxing's about cents. You know, it's about money. It's about green. It's not about black. It's not about Mexican. It's not about none of that. It's about green. So whatever is going to draw the green, if the opportunity presents itself, Inoue will come to America for the right fighter with the right fanfare behind him who's done enough to entice him to want to come here. Right now, in my humble opinion, that fighter does not exist. Now, could maybe like a guy like Shushu Carrington, if he continues to get knockouts and building buzz, could he draw Inoue to the States and maybe for a big fight at Madison Square Garden? Possibly. I talked about him a lot recently, but I'll bring him up again. Angelo Leo, he's a guy that's the most active fighter in the division. It's fully anticipated because I talked to Venado Lopez's manager that he's in a fight for the world title. So maybe that could be, a fight for Inoue in a big Mexican-American market if Top Rank is open to that. But more than likely, these guys are going to have to go to Japan because I know a lot of Americans don't like what Inoue said. And selfishly, I think Inoue should be in the States. I would like to see him in the States. But if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. The biggest money fights, the biggest opportunities, the biggest paydays for not just Inoue but the opponents are in Japan. Like I wish you guys could next time I'm gonna tell you guys this next Japan trip in 2024. One thing I'm gonna do a much better job of is documenting more of my time there when I'm just out and about walking the streets because I want people to really understand how big of a star this guy is in Japan. And until you've really been there and you've seen it for yourself, I couldn't even quantify it and put it into words. And mind you, I went before he fought Stephen Fulton. So just think about how big he's gotten since I went to Japan. He's had 2 fights against Fulton and Tapala. So just imagine how much bigger he is now as a star, as a marquee name over there. I'm looking very forward to going back to Japan. And it's funny enough, I'm wearing my Ohashi boxing gym shirt right now. One of my favorite boxing shirts, from when I went to the gym and watched the little kids train. The little badasses, little 10-year-old kids punching like they're 14 years old. Punches straight as a steak knife. I mean, just straight. No fat in the punches. But stay tuned for that. That'll probably be in. I keep pushing it back. First it was supposed to be June. Then it was supposed to be July. Then I was saying early August. Now it's looking more like mid to late August. So who knows? Who knows when? But when I lock in my date for Japan, you guys will know. But yeah, to answer your question again, Falling Star, the money is over there. So until an American fighter, whether it be Bruce Carrington or Angelo Leo or somebody builds up enough value where they can entice Inoue to come to the States. And mind you, as much as I like those 2 guys, Angelo and Bruce Carrington, the reality is, like, why would he come right now? Why would he come for those guys? Those guys don't have neither one of those guys have titles. Neither one of those guys are like pay-per-view stars right now or anything like that. So it's like right now, if you want to be a featherweight champion, if you want to fight Inoue, whether you like it or not, you best have your passport ready because the road to greatness, the road to beating the monster, it goes through Japan. And if you don't like it, well, then you gotta sign the contract, you gotta fight him, you gotta beat him, and bring the titles back to the States. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So it is what it is. My man Hurricane Hank says that Craig Richards is a boring fighter. Yeah, he's not an exciting fighter. He's not gonna sell a bunch of tickets, but again, he's effective at what he does, fighting tall, rangy, keeping it nice and long, and it's difficult. I saw a Japanese article that the Inoue Dome fight will bring in $20 million at the beginning without the sponsorship money being in the equation, and I believe that. I definitely believe that. I mean, Tokyo Dome, the Tokyo Dome seats 55,000 people. I've been to the Tokyo Dome. I'm probably the only YouTube boxing content creator in America that's been to the Tokyo Dome. So I know how big that stadium is. And mind you, because it's boxing, you're not putting a baseball diamond on there. You could put extra seats in there. So he might actually get close to 60,000 people at his fight, even though it only seats 55,000. The ring only takes up but so much space. So if the Japanese want to put more seats around the ring on the field level, they could do that, and they could sell 57, 58, 59, maybe 60,000 tickets. Who knows? We'll see next month when he fights Neri how it goes. But yeah, man. Then you gotta factor in, because Inoue's got major corporate sponsorships in Japan. He's got Lamino, he's got NTT Docomo, which is like the T-Mobile of Japan. I mean, he's just raking in money, hand over fist. So I believe it. Do you think there's any truth to the rumor that Hrgovic dropped Dubois in sparring? I think if there's anyone that would know, it's gonna be you. LOL. I know you love Hrgovic. I ain't gonna ask you who you think wins. It's listen, man. It's heavyweight boxing, so obviously I'll never rule out anybody beating Filip Hrgovic because there's always that one punch factor. But you're gonna have to be tougher than him, and I don't think a lot of guys are as tough as him. You're gonna have to be very intelligent with setting up your power punches, and a lot of guys outside of them, maybe like from Fury and Usyk and Joshua, there's not a lot of guys that I think are that great in the heavyweight division at setting up their punches. So as far as him dropping Dubois, look, I wasn't there. They sparred years before I ever met Filip Hrgovic in person. Filip Hrgovic, according to him, and I only have his side of the story, but according to Hrgovic, from what he's told me many times, is that he sparred Daniel Dubois. I think it was like, I'm gonna say it's like 2018, maybe 2019, maybe earlier. I don't know the exact year they sparred, but it was before I met him. So I met Hrgovic for the first time in 2020. It was before that. So they sparred at Peacock Gym in London. Very popular gym in London. I know that's where Dillian White used to train, or yeah, where he trained. Isaac Chamberlain used to train there. It's a very famous gym. And he says he beat the brakes off of him and made him hop off the ring in sparring. So that's his side of the story. That's what I got directly from Hrgovic, but I wasn't there, so I can't confirm nor deny. Hyro says, Inoue is more of a star than Otani. You think so? Definitely not. Not even close. We all know Inoue would be scared to come to America and fight Gervonta Davis. I mean, they're not in the same weight class, Hyro. But I hear you. You don't like Inoue. Just say that. Just say, Hyro. Just say, hey, look, I don't like Inoue. I don't like his fan base. I don't like the way they dick ride him. Just say that, Hyro. You don't gotta say all that. That because Tank's not gonna fight him. Inoue's not gonna fight Tank. At least not right now. So yeah. But shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're 37 minutes in. Get your comments in. Subscribe if you're new. If you've enjoyed these 90 days, definitely super chat. Make sure you guys, again, I'll bring it up again because there's more people here because some of you guys may have not been here when I said it earlier. Tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow's live, I will be doing the official drawing for the raffle. I want you guys, if you haven't entered in for the raffle, go to my community post, and it's the same community post where it says special announcement. Yeah, man, you got to go ahead and enter in because you'll get a chance to win one-of-a-kind boxing memorabilia like these, like this Inoue Japanese newspaper from him punching Marlon Tapales. You know, you can win this if you. All you gotta do is go to the community post and type your name in the comments, and then I'll write it down on a piece of paper. I'll draw it out of it. I'll put it on a piece of paper. Starting a little bit, piece of paper. I'll put it in a hat. We'll pick the names out of a hat. And then once we get the winners and whatnot, I'll figure out what's the best way to get in contact with you guys, or you get in contact with me on email, Twitter, Instagram, and then I'll send it to you. But yeah, so you got this newspaper right here, right? You can win, right? This one with him punching Marlon Tapales. You got this one from the day after he beat Marlon Tapales with Inoue and the little horse. I guess there was horse racing going on in Japan that day, and then obviously Terrence Crawford, a picture of Terrence Crawford from that fateful night when he beat the brakes off Earl Spence. It has my prediction that I got right to the exact round on the actual picture. So your chance to win one-of-a-kind, unique boxing memorabilia as part of our 90 Days of Boxing celebration. Now, I saw somebody earlier in the chat say, they said BT, they said True School, would you ever consider doing 90 Days of Boxing ever again, where you go live every day for 90 days in a row? And the answer to that question is a resounding yes, I would. I definitely would. I might make it like a yearly thing. So maybe next year around the same time I might do it again. But it's been a lot of fun. You know, it's been challenging. It's been frustrating at times. It's been draining at times. But it's been very rewarding. And I feel like it's grown the channel. It's grown my relationship with the viewers and the audience. And that's, to me, more than views, more than subscribers, more than money. That's the most important thing, is my relationship with the viewers. That's why very soon, when these 90 Days of Boxing are done, I'm going to start a Discord for True School Sports where you guys can come and interact with me, and we can all interact with each other off of YouTube and talk boxing and whatever else you want to talk about. So stay tuned for that in the coming months. How about live every other day for a year? I mean, that's very doable. That's doable. But I'm gonna say no because really and truthfully, I need to regroup on some things, But I'm gonna be going live. Like the lives are still gonna come, so don't worry about that. There's other things I want to get to, so we're gonna enjoy these next couple days and definitely close it out strong. But I'm not gonna agree to that because boxing. There's so many things going on for me in boxing right now that I can't commit to that right now. But I can do a block of 90 days straight, a year. Um, Philip Hergovich should not mention retirement. If he loses to Dubois, it's boxing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You're damn right. That's what I'm saying. I don't rule out Dubois. Dubois is a big punch, a big strong kid. I'll be led to believe with him fighting guys like Jarrell Miller and Usyk and Joe Joyce. He's got a lot of good experience over the years. He just needs to really conquer the mental side of boxing, which is when shit gets hot in there, when the pressure gets applied to him. Can he get over that hump and not look for a way out? Zhang or Wilder, and why? That's a hard one, man. That's a really hard one. I don't have faith in either of them. I don't feel confident in Wilder because Malik Scott is trying to make him box like him, like he used to fight, and that doesn't work for Wilder. And Zhang, I don't have any faith in Zhang because Zhang blows out of his ass after 5 rounds every single fight. Don't matter if he's fighting Jerry Forrest, Philip Hergovich, Joseph Parker. His gas tank is not that great. So he's going to have a big weight advantage on Wilder. I'll have a better idea of who's going to win that fight once I see the weigh-ins, because if Wilder comes in light, let's just say if Wilder weighs in at about, we'll say 220 pounds. We'll say 220 to 225. That's the perfect weight for Wilder because Wilder is a more dangerous man when he's leaner. Anyone who knows anything about boxing knows that speed is power. And so when Wilder is leaner, he has more speed, which translates to more power. But if Wilder does what he did for the third Fury fight and he tries to bulk up to try to deal with the weight advantage James going to have, then he's going to get his ass tore up and he's going to fatigue very quickly. And he's going to take away from the great attributes he does have, which is his punching power and his speed and his unpredictability. So I'm not really confident either way, just being honest. I might put some money on Ryan for a 12-round decision. I think Allah will punish Devin Haney for not fasting. Listen, I made my prediction very known. Do what you want. I'm going with Devin Haney to win by disqualification. That's my prediction. Zhang can't come in again at 290. No, we need the Zhang that came in, like the guy that fought Hergovich. I think he was like 270 something, trim. He was a trim two. He still blew out of his ass after a couple rounds, but I feel like he had more gas. He was stronger for more rounds in that fight than any fight in the world. The Falling Star says Ryan versus Devin brings bringing boxing back to New York. BT. I hope the fight can bring confidence to promoters to bring some of the major fights to New York again. Yeah, why not, man? I feel like being someone. I feel like I'm always going to the West Coast. I'm always going to Vegas. It'd be nice if we got more fights here on the East Coast, not just New York, but even like here in South Florida. Because in the 80s, in the 70s, and even part of the 90s, Miami used to get a lot of fights. Some of the biggest fights in boxing history have been in Miami. So I think it'd be nice if the East Coast got shown a little more love. But yeah, that's crazy. You say that. I think Ryan may buy that. That's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna get some Fugazi weirdo stuff from Ryan Garcia. The same way we've gotten Fugazi weirdo stuff from Ryan Garcia in the build-up. So. My man Jonas says, "Can you interview Michael Hunter and what is the situation with the loss in Uzbekistan?" Well, I'm not even sure that he lost, but I don't think I'm ever getting a Michael Hunter interview because Michael Hunter has me blocked on Instagram and he has me blocked on Twitter. So that's not happening for me. The reason he blocked me was because he went on Instagram one time. I think it was like a year or two ago. I want to say it was like 2 years ago, and he was talking about, these guys don't want to fight me, they're ducking me, and then I basically just told him that you ducked Philip Hergovich, and what are you talking about? And he just blocked me. So I don't have any hatred. I don't have an ounce of hatred for Michael Hunter. I actually like him. It's kind of sad how his career went since ducking Philip Hergovich because he hasn't really done anything to speak too much about. He had a lot of talent coming out the amateurs. I know a lot about Michael because he fought my boy Steve Gaffard in the amateurs, and he was a top creme de la creme amateur, you know, and you know, he had that devastating knockout victory over Martin Bacoli. I feel like 2019, like 2018 and 2020, that was the Michael Hunter window to really make that noise in the heavyweight division. Once he got the draw against Povetkin, and then he started ducking Hergovich, you know, his career has pretty much gone in a negative direction. Eddie Hearn. So Hyro says Eddie Hearn fans were shook when they found out that Serrano versus Taylor is on the Mike Tyson undercard. Even Jake Paul is a better promoter than Eddie Hearn. Yeah, I mean, look. Shout out to Jake Paul for making it happen. Shout out to Jake Paul for delivering one of the biggest fights and one of the best fights in boxing. Because not just women's boxing. Taylor Serrano 2 is one of the best fights in boxing, because Taylor Serrano 1 was one of the best fights in boxing when it happened. Falling Star asked for my prediction of the fight. I haven't really thought about it too much. Are they fighting 2 or 3 minute rounds? Because if they're fighting 2 minute rounds, I will go with Katie. If they're fighting 3, I'll go with Serrano. But I'm pretty sure they're fighting 2, so I'll go with Katie to get a close decision, because Katie Taylor always seems to get the real close decisions, no matter who she fights, whether she won or lost. So we'll see how it goes. If God is punishing anyone, it's Ryan. Why is that? Why would God punish Ryan? Because Ryan's been all over the place. You know, I'm not gonna say no names, man, but I was watching a live. Ryan Garcia had a live, and he was talking to his mom, and he was telling his mom, he's like, Mom, you know I get a lot of, you know, I was always getting a lot of girls. I was always getting a lot of women, even before I had money, Mom. Let's be honest. He was saying that on the live. And then he started naming girls, and he named the one girl who was a boxing reporter. I said, oh man. I said exposed. I'm not gonna say who it was, but if you go on his Twitter, the last live he did from yesterday, he named a boxing reporter that's prominent. And I said, wow. Some of these girls, they get around. They be doing their thing with Ryan. Is Serrano still asking for 3 minute rounds after that horrible performance? I hope not. I'd hope that Ryan or Serrano don't ask anybody for 3 minute rounds, because she should have knocked that girl out, and she didn't, and it was horrible, and it was an eyesore, and I wanted to gouge my eyes out. So I think unpopular opinion amongst the female fighters, but I actually think the 2 minute rounds is the best, because it creates a faster pace, more higher punch output, and more exchanges, which I think is best. So I think women's boxing is fine just the way it is. It's okay to be different. Women don't gotta be like men, you know. Just do your thing. Deliver great fights with 2 minute rounds. You guys want to know, was it female boxing? I'm not gonna say who it was. It wasn't her, but I'm not gonna say who it was. It wasn't her though. Hurricane Hank said, "That's how you get those exclusive interviews." Yeah, man. Shit. You know, once I heard who he said it was, I said, "Damn, no wonder certain fighters give her exclusive access." But I don't want to out nobody, you know. I don't knock nobody's hustle, you know. Gotta get it how you live, right? So, but it's sad though. It's sad that girls do that. It's sad that, you know, it's sad that girls will hold themselves out for a couple thousand YouTube views. It's sad, man. You know, there's better things in life to whore yourself out for than just a couple thousand YouTube views. You know, at least get you a car. At least get a meal out of it. Shit, at least get you some. at least have them pay a bill or something. You know, shit, a couple thousand YouTube views. Like that's what it takes. What's the deal between Filip Hrgović and Eddie Hearn? 3 deals, one with Dubois. Right now, I just know he's fighting. I know he's fighting Dubois, and I would anticipate after that, if he can be victorious, then Anthony Joshua has to be on the horizon. So, you know, he wasn't tied up in Bohemian Grove. He's making it up. He doesn't want to help the kids. He wants to get attention and make money. It's sad to say he's getting knocked out. Yeah, man. It is what it is. Like, look, that's if he's lying and there's not any integrity being shown from Ryan, and only God knows what he's lying and telling the truth about. That's between him and God, and he's got to deal with that. So hopefully he ain't lying about that kind of stuff, because that would be very serious things to lie about. Was it Ellie? No, we're not. I'm not. Listen, guys. If you think you're gonna get it out of me, I'm not gonna say it here because then if I say it, then I'm gonna look bad. All I'm gonna say is, just go to Ryan Garcia's last live. All right, I think it was his last live. That he did yesterday when he was in the hotel room with his mom. It's on his Twitter. All right, it's on his Twitter. And then go to about the 2 minute and 30-second mark and just listen. You'll hear the name. You'll hear the name. I'm not gonna say it. It's crazy though, cause that girl he named, who remain nameless here, she's been with a couple boxers that I know about. It's crazy. Boxing's a small world. Eddie Hearn, what's Eddie Hearn's major weakness as a promoter? You feel, BT? He did say that his major inspiration was Dana White. To be honest, Eddie Hearn's biggest weakness as a promoter is that I think he's a little too nice. He's actually probably one of the only somewhat nice promoters. And I think sometimes it gets him taken advantage of in negotiations. I think sometimes other promoters prey on that. So that's probably it. Other than that, I think he's a good promoter. Did you hear about Ryan Garcia and the Mets baseball team? Yeah, he said fuck the New York Mets, which to me, I'm a Marlins fan. So the Mets are like our rivals. The Mets are one of our rivals. I can't stand the New York Mets. They're one of the teams I hate the most in sports. So even though the Marlins are horrible right now and they're trash, and I don't really care about baseball, it was cool to hear Ryan Garcia, to hear a boxer of high prominence say fuck the Mets. That's amazing. That was cool. But shout out to everybody here. It's been a pretty good live so far. Do you think Ryan can get the decision? Do you think Ryan can get the decision if it goes 12 cents? Of course. Listen, man. If Ryan make this fight close, I think he's getting a decision. If he doesn't get disqualified and do some dumb shit, I feel like there's more money to be made and generated with Ryan Garcia. The boxing industry would benefit a lot more if Ryan Garcia won this fight. So therefore, Devin need to go in there and make it he didn't make it conclusive. He needs to make it 100% obvious he won this damn fight. And if at all possible, take it out of the judge's hands. I'm telling you, there's nothing that the boxing industry would love more, and for the WBC as well, than to put a world title around Ryan Garcia's waist, by hook or by crook. If Clarissa's saying it right. If Ryan wins 5 rounds, he's winning this fight. So he don't even gotta really win. Just win 5 rounds, and then in the rounds that you lose, make it look kind of competitive and win some moments, and you win the fight. Hyro chimes in and says Eddie Hearn's weakness is that he doesn't understand the U.S. market. He wants to go to every place but can't sell it out and not focus on a single coast. He has never had a co-promotion with PBC. Tell him again, Hyro. Who do I think is going to win between Team Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren? Definitely Team Eddie Hearn. They got Philip Hrgovic. They got Raymond Ford. So I think those two, that's 2 wins right there, in my opinion. And then I think either Craig or Ammo will win. So that'll be 3 wins right there for them. I think their 3 wins will come from some combination of Hrgovic, Ford, and then either Ammo will beat Shiraz or Craig will beat Willie Hutchinson. So, yeah. Eddie Hearn citing American fighters and putting British fighters on the undercard does not help. So, Hyro, there you go. Tell Hyro, tell them, Hyro, in the comments, because I know how much you dislike and detest Eddie Hearn. You don't like that guy at all. You never give him a fair shake. You don't ever give him his credit ever for anything. So, where do you put the winner of Bivol versus Arthur on your pound for pound? Honestly, let's unpack that. So, let me see. Let me pull up Bivol's box rec real quick, because I know he's been champion for at least 7 years. But I want to have the exact facts in front of me, so I can tell you guys, give you all the large picture. Make sure you smash that like button. All right, super chat, we here. Day number 88, 90 Days of Boxing, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. Now, let's talk about it. So, Bivol was... So, he got the championship, or he was elevated to champion when he fought Trent Brahurst, right? So, since the Brahurst fight, that was 2017. So, he's been champion for 7 years, and he's had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's had 10 defenses of the WBA title. So he's been champion 7 years, 10 defenses of the title. This would be his 11th world title defense that he's attempted to make. If he, I've said it on my Instagram story, I'll say it here. I think Beterbiev is going to beat Bivol. I just think Beterbiev is good enough of a boxer to offset some of the things he wants to do. And he's the more, I feel like he can dig deeper, and he's the bigger fit, and he's definitely the better finisher. And I feel like shit's gonna get hot in there for Bivol, and Bivol will be number 21. He will be the 21st victim on Artur Beterbiev's KO ratio. So I think that's how it's gonna end. But I'll say this: if Bivol navigates Artur Beterbiev, if he's able to go in there and feign him, break his rhythm, put that jab in his face, put that educated right hand behind it, work the hook in there, just outbox him by decision, Bivol, to me, cements his place in boxing as the best technical fighter since Floyd Mayweather. Since the Floyd Mayweather era ended. Since Mayweather retired. He beats Beterbiev. He's definitely the best technical fighter, best pure boxer since Floyd Mayweather. There's no doubt about it. At that point, he would hands down to me, without a shadow of a doubt, be pound for pound number 1. I don't think Inoue's resume holds a if he gets Beterbiev on his resume, Inoue's resume does not hold a candle to Bivol's resume. Same goes for Crawford. If he beats Beterbiev, Crawford's resume also does not hold a candle to Beterbiev's to Bivol's resume, because at that point he'd have Canelo Alvarez and Artur Beterbiev on his resume. And you tell me who has Inoue or Crawford beat on the like Canelo Beterbiev level? What's better than that? I mean, then you can throw in the guys like Joe Smith Jr., former champion, Craig Richards, solid contender. All the guys, all the good fighters he beat as well. So Sullivan Barrera. So to me, 11 defenses. So 11 world title defenses, undisputed. Canelo and Beterbiev on your resume. That can't be fucked with between anybody in boxing as far as resume is concerned. I know he hasn't gone undisputed multiple times, so that's where the argument for the Bud and Inoue fans can come in. But if we're talking about who you actually beat and how you carry that crown of being champion, Bivol's done a better job than just about anybody in boxing. Now, for the Beterbiev side of things, Beterbiev has never gotten a chance to fight like a Canelo before, so this is it for him. This is a big fight. We know Beterbiev could never get a Canelo fight because Canelo Alvarez would never dare say his name, because Canelo Alvarez know what would happen to him if they ever fought, and be very bad. But he's beat some good fighters too. He beat Alexander Gvozdyk. He is the best finisher in boxing, hands down, without a shadow, without the best finisher there is, because every style they put in front of him, it doesn't matter if it's a stocky pressure fighter, tall southpaw, slick black American. It don't matter what they put in front of Beterbiev. The result has always been the same. It don't matter if he starts fast. It don't matter if he starts slow. Artur Beterbiev packs you up and gets you out of there. So my thing is this: he's 3-belt unified champion, 20-0, 20 knockouts, 100% KO ratio. If he KOs Bivol, quite possibly the most unknockoutable, if that's even a word, but the most knockout-proof fighter in boxing, just because of his feet and his footwork and how good he is at measuring distance and offsetting opponents' rhythm with feints, then at that point there would need to be a serious discussion about Beterbiev being number 1. I think the winner of this fight should be number 1 pound for pound, because we get a lot of fights in boxing where I think the level of the fighter's abilities is overrated. Like for example, Bud versus Spence to me was Bud versus Spence to me was a good fight. I never thought it was the fight that people made it out to be. I feel like Terrence Crawford had all-time great level talent. Errol Spence was just very good for the era. He was good for the era, and there's a big difference between all-time great talent and just being a good fighter in your era. Beterbiev and Bivol to me is literally 2 all-time great talents. The best at what they do in the sport. Beterbiev, the best finisher in the sport today. If you argue with that, then that means you don't think perfection's enough. Dimitri Bivol, quite possibly the best pure boxer in the sport. Nobody transitions from offense to defense and defense to offense quite as seamlessly and as smoothly as Bivol does. He doesn't need to knock you out, because he knows how to win by outboxing you. He's never had to beat anybody with his A game. So to me, the winner of this fight not only cements himself as the undisputed man in the division, the pound for pound #1 fighter in boxing, but more important than that, an all-time great in the sport. So it may not be the biggest fight in terms of viewership or money or anything like that, but hands down, Beterbiev Bivol is boxing's most significant fight in 2024. Make no ifs, make no ands, or buts about it. So that's what I'm saying. Now let me go back. My man Yorna says you are better in interviews at interviewing fighters than other YouTube boxing channels. I appreciate that, man. I try my best. Thank you. Crawford resume is a smokescreen. People think it's good because they don't do research. No, it's a solid resume. I mean, he couldn't get all the big fights at a certain point in his career, so you gotta take that into account. He did beat some good guys, like at the time he fought them. Like Victor Postal was a very good one when he fought him. But again, the Crawford resume, whether Bivol beats Beterbiev or Beterbiev beats Bivol, I don't think the Crawford resume holds a candle to either. Just being honest, and neither does Inoue. So, you know, everyone was giving it the whole large, like, oh, the winner of Spence Crawford's pound #1. No. The winner of this fight is pound #1. Am I going to be at the Barclays Center? No, I'm not. I'm going to be here in the friendly confines of South Florida. I'm going to be at the Amerant Bank Arena to watch the greatest show on ice since Disney on Ice, the Florida Panthers. That's where I'll be at on Saturday. Or Sunday, whenever they play. I'm not even sure if it's Saturday or Sunday yet. They haven't announced the dates yet, but I'll be there at Game 1 and Game 2. Shout out to my guy, Robert Sanchez. He says, what's up, BT? I think Bivol versus Beterbiev is going to be the best fight of the year. Lucky to have this fight for free on Top Rank. Shout out to Bob Arum. Yes, it's not on pay-per-view. And imagine that. Two of the best fighters that have ever lived in the light heavyweight division are going to fight for all the belts, and it won't be pay-per-view. But, you know, we had, they put fights like, I don't know, Benavidez versus Andre on pay-per-view. So it's like, shout out to Bob Arum. Shout out to him. I don't think Bivol has a better light heavyweight resume than Artur Beterbiev. And that's what Hyro says. And you know what? That's a very good argument, Hyro. You know, Bivol or Beterbiev has beaten, I think, very good light heavyweights. I mean, he beat Alexander Gvozdyk in his prime and pretty much ruined him. Like, he ruined Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk had a very high trajectory in his career, and that trajectory completely sunk when he fought Artur Beterbiev and got packed up in 10 rounds. Right? So, beat him. Hot Rod Kalajic, a guy that's been a good contender for years, packed him up in 5 rounds. Callum Johnson packed him up in 4 rounds. You know, even Tavares Cloud, who was shot to pieces, you know, that was even a good one. He got him early in his career at the end of Tavares Cloud's career. If you look at, like, you know, Marcus Brown, that was a fight that a lot of people, even Hyro, thought was going to be a close fight. Beat the hell out of him. Joe Smith Jr., legitimate light heavyweight champion. I was there in the flesh. 2 rounds. Anthony Yard, very tough light heavyweight. 8 rounds, got him out of there. Last fight, Callum Smith, you know, one of the biggest punchers in the division. You know, so they say. Outboxed him and stopped him. So, yeah, Hyra, I think there's a big case to be made. You know, Bivol, he beat Pascal. He beat, what's the guy's name? Salamov. He beat Craig Richards. I would say he beat Zorro. Was a good win, but, you know, I don't think Zorro is as good as a lot of the guys that Beterbiev beat. You know, but I like Zorro. Zorro's a good fighter. Zorro's went on to become cruiserweight champion. He was super middleweight champion. He just wasn't good enough to beat Bivol. But very, very good debate topic there, Hyro. I think there might be a video on its own, honestly. But yes, great fight. What do you guys think? I'll ask you guys, the chat. Who do you guys think has the better light heavyweight resume, Bivol or Beterbiev? I know Canelo, he beat Canelo at 175, but Canelo really wasn't no great light heavyweight. He was a guy that he beat Kovalev when he was shot to pieces. My man says Jared Anderson needs a good test like a Jermaine Franklin. That'd be a good fight. But I think no disrespect to Jermaine Franklin. I like Jermaine Franklin. I've interviewed him. He's a good guy. But he needs something higher than a Jermaine Franklin. I think something like a F.A. Jagba, a Bacoli, a Frank Sanchez, a Caballel, something along that line will be good for Anderson. Danny Drew says he's got Bivol. Bivol has the better light heavyweight resume. Beterbiev, Henderson says Beterbiev because he has all knockouts. That's what I'm saying, man. How can you go against how? And it's not just that he's getting knockouts; it's the way he goes about it. He's not just going in there just winging these big ass shots. He lets it come to him. He boxes behind the jab. Depending on what the opponent gives him, he game plans on a certain punch and makes adjustments. Sometimes it's the straight right, sometimes it's the overhand right, sometimes it's the uppercut, sometimes it's the left hook, sometimes it's the power jab. But either way, the result is the same, and that's one of the things I like about Beterbiev. They both have amazing resumes. Canelo is the best win from either, in my opinion, says Lord Zed. You think so? I don't agree with that, because I don't look at Canelo as no great light heavyweight. I think he's a guy that beat Kovalev in very favorable circumstances. I think the Vozick win is a better win at 175, beating a prime Alexander Gvozdyk and basically ruining his whole career. That's a better win to me than Canelo. That's just me. I understand that Bivol had a lot of things going against him because he was Russian and they wouldn't even play his anthem, and Eddie Hearn was dick riding Canelo. We all know the things that were happening with Bivol going into the Canelo fight. So it was a great win when you reevaluate the circumstances. But if we're talking about just who was the better fighter at 175, I think 2019 prime, hungry, determined Alexander the Nail Gvozdyk was better than 2022, Canelo Alvarez. That's just me. That's what I think. But to each his own. We're all entitled to our own opinions here on True School Sports. So, yeah. Beterbiev wasn't always fighting cans like Wilder was. No, he wasn't. But what's crazy is he would have fought more people if because he had contractual issues with PBC, and he sat out his contract with PBC on general principle. And lost some years of his career, lost probably some good fights, but it's paid. I think it's paid in a way. It's paid dividends for him because he had a chance to rest his body, and even though he's 39, 40 years old, he doesn't have the wear and tear I feel of a 39, 40-year-old. That's just me. But it's gonna be a great fight, man. Who knows? I never rule anything out, but I might be there in Saudi for that fight. I don't know. We'll see how things play out. I'll know here in a couple weeks, but I think there's like a I would say there's like a 35% chance I wind up in Saudi Arabia for that fight. 35. I'll say 35, but there's a chance. That's the only fight that can bring me to Saudi Arabia. It's Beterbiev Bivol. Plus, they put Hergertz on the undercard, so that's also another reason to go. Plus, you got Ray Ford, who, I'm going to. It's been cool talking to him and whatnot. So go see Ray Ford while we're at it. Got Wilder. Never been to Saudi. Take the Middle East off my list. Place I've never been. Yeah, the problem with Wilder and the Zhang fight is defense. If Wilder has good defense, he'll be the favorite. That's what I'm saying. The defense, and he's got to be able to exploit that speed advantage. If he can do those things, the fight is his to lose. Is Jared worth the push from Top Rank? I've never been high on Jared. Everybody's always been gassed on Jared. I think he's talented. I think he's solid. But I've always thought he's overrated. It's not so. With me, it's nothing new. But people are now starting to see what I saw, which is that I didn't see much of anything more than just a solid guy, and a guy that has some good skills at the weight, athletic, agile, but the next Riddick Bowe, he is not. So, I think Top Rank needs to put him next in a sink or swim type of a fight to see what they got, and let him know that that's what it is. That if he doesn't win and looking sensational, they're gonna cut him because he looks disinterested. He looked disengaged, and it was a boring ass fight you put on Riyad Mahrez. There's no way around it. It was a boring fight. It was boring. And I'm all for boxing behind the jab and boxing well, but when you get a guy that low below you in class and talent, you got to go in there and make a statement. And he didn't do that. And I don't want to hear nobody say it was Riyad Mahrez's fault because he didn't throw any punches. Listen, in a way, fought Paul Butler, who ran for 11 rounds. It was in survival mode the whole fight. He still got a stoppage. So if Jared Anderson really is all these things they say he's the next Riddick Bowe, this, that, and the third, he would find a way to make the fight at least a little more exciting or at least get a stoppage. So that's my opinion. But what are your thoughts on Jake if him and Tyson becomes the most viewed Netflix program in history? Boxing popularity will be on a new all-time high. I don't really have any thoughts about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I mean, I hope Mike Tyson knock his ass out because that would be pretty amazing. But I hope at least 5% of the viewership from that fight can become real boxing fans, and I hope they come to channels like mine, and I hope it's a good shot in the arm for boxing. That's all I can hope for. I'm just glad that we're getting real fighters on the undercard, getting real paydays, and getting taken care of. So I like that aspect of it. But as far as Jake Paul, Mike Tyson itself, I don't really care about it or anything like that. Too much outside of Jake Paul getting knocked out. Clarissa says, I don't think Jake Paul brings new boxing fans. They just follow him from YouTube. I'm telling you right now, I've been to a couple of Jake Paul fights in person. Those are not boxing fans. Those are specifically Jake Paul fans. And I'm not saying there can't be a person or two that becomes a boxing fan along the way, but the majority of the people are only going to care about Jake Paul and Jake Paul only. They don't care about no damn Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. And that's just the truth. So we'll see how it goes. Is a hotel at the Hard Rock Hotel expensive? I want to go to see Ryan Rozicki. Harold, if you're really serious about wanting to come to South Florida to watch Ryan Rozicki, you can come stay at my house. I will let you come stay at my house. You can come stay here at my house. I'll let you sleep in my room. I'll sleep. I'll go sleep in another room, and we can go to the fight together. If you're serious, because if not, then say the bullshit. By the way, I saw earlier. I don't know if you're still here, Johnny. I saw the comment earlier. Where was it? I wanted to read it earlier. Where was it? Johnny, my boy Johnny, where is it? I missed it. Johnny said, me, Angelo, and Miguel are watching you saying what's up. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Johnny Cortijo, the pride and joy of all North Las Vegas. Shout out to the master genius, one of the best trainers in the world, Miguel Leo. And shout out to the soon-to-be two-time champion and featherweight champion, my main man, 50 grand, Albuquerque, New Mexico's very own Angelo Leo. Shout out to you guys for watching it live. Hope all is well. Can't wait for camp to start. Alex said gay. You know what's gay? I'll tell you what's gay. Tell you what's gay, man. Running your mouth. Running your mouth is gay. Because running your mouth gets you booted, champ. Hold on. Let me see. I'll give you one more chance, Alex. I'm in a good mood today. I'll give you one more chance. I don't know if he was calling. I don't know what or who he was calling gay. Isaac Bermudez wants to know, why are people overlooking Beterbiev's IQ? Because he's so good at finishing opponents. He's so good at getting knockouts that people think that's all he is. That's all he is. They think he's just come forward, dummy, get knockouts, this, that, and the third. And he's so much more than that. Mind you, I'm pretty sure Beterbiev won an AIBA World Championship, or he medaled someone in the AIBA World Championship. He's being world-class fighters in the amateurs. He was every bit as good, if not better, than Bivol as an amateur boxer. Plus, he can punch. So, really and truthfully, when it comes to complete fighters in boxing, Beterbiev has an argument to be the most complete fighter in boxing. I put him up there with like the Terrence Crawford, the Inoue, as being one of, if not the most complete fighter in boxing, because there's not anything in the boxing ring he can't do. It doesn't get highlighted because he's so good at knockouts, but he's amazing. He said, what's been good, fam? Been listening to the last couple of weeks. Been a good podcast. Keep it up. Thank you, man. And I'm definitely going to keep it up. I really don't even think I've worked as hard as I could possibly work this year. I think I can actually work harder. I can do better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push myself. That's why I'm excited for these 90 days to be over, so that I can get to the other parts of the channel that need to be worked on and take things to a whole nother level, And that's what we're doing day by day. So I'm glad you guys sticking with me and supporting the channel and supporting boxing, Clarissa says, where is Devin Haney's mom? I saw Ryan. I saw Ryan asking that. He and Devin didn't like that. Devin said, get out of my face. And he pushed him. He said, get out of my face, Ryan. So it is what it is. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the trash talk. Eunice says, let's be real. Beterbiev has a better resume than Bivol, and I'm a Bivol fan. So there you go. So I think so. I would agree. I don't know anything about Devin Haney's mom. So and really that's not for me to know. Devin Haney don't gotta share that all his personal information with the world like that if he don't want to. BT, which fight would you rather see? Bam versus Tanaka, Estrada versus Tanaka, or Tanaka versus Ioka 2? Um, I'll go with Tanaka versus Ioka 2. You know, I was very heavily invested in the rematch. I'm a big Kota Tanaka fan. And I was very upset when he got knocked out by Ioka because I feel like he's still on a very good trajectory to become a 4 division champion. But I feel like had he won that fight, he would be looked at so differently. Like the way they talk about Junto, the way they're talking about Junto now, Kosai would get more of that love, and I feel like he's not getting it because all the attention in Japanese boxing has been on Inoue, and then the rest of the attention goes to Kenshiro and Junto. But really, I feel like Kosai should be talked about more. So I just for him to avenge that loss and become 4 division champion, and for me to have a chance, because I'll go to that fight. I will legit go to that fight, and I would love to see it in person. See Kosai Tanaka fight live in a big fight against Ioka. Please go to Saudi Arabia. Filip Hrgović will give you the first interview after he becomes the champion. He did say that. He did say that. So I want to go. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to go. And yeah. Hopefully we'll see what God has planned. So it's all in God's hands. Hyro says, I had a feeling it was with Snow Queen LA. So look, you said it, not me, brother. You said it. He said it, and now you said it. So I didn't say anything, but yeah. Anyway. Shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. 90 Days of Boxing. Day 88. We're 77 minutes. And you know what? We'll make it an even 90 minutes today. So I got 13 minutes left. I'll go an hour and a half. I'll give you guys an extra 13 minutes, you know. I'll show some sack, as Danny Drew would say. But we're not going 100 days in a row, Danny. So get that out of your head, champ. Clarissa said, damn. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. He said it. You know, it's not my personal business, but he put it out there, and it's crazy. I think Ioka is going to keep being a diva. I see Bam versus Kosai Tanaka happening next. That's a good fight. You know, I like that fight. Kosai called out Bam when I interviewed him last year in Japan. He wants that fight. I know that he has a burning desire to fight in America. Out of all the Japanese fighters I interviewed in my time in Japan, I don't think any fighter expressed a deeper desire to want to fight in the USA more than Kosai Tanaka. So hopefully that fight can happen next, because Bam has to start fighting some Japanese people, you know, some young Japanese people. The road to greatness for Bam is through Japan. Harold wants to know if I'm going to sleep after this. No, I'm not going to sleep. I'll probably stay awake. I'll give you a call. We'll talk for a bit, because I do got to talk. We do got to talk. Raw Dog. Hey, Raw Dog, I mean, it is what it is, champ, you know. He says, go to Saudi to grow your channel and be famous in boxing. Look, I don't view myself as a famous guy, but when I leave South Florida and I go out west and I go to New York and I go to Texas and I go to places, I'd be surprised. I'm pretty famous, more famous than I think. So, you know, I'm pretty content where I'm at. But yeah, obviously, if I can go to Saudi, it would be big for the channel. So, yeah, man, I want to go. I want to go see what it's about, and definitely go there to support Filip Hrgović and see a great fight between Beterbiev and Bivol, and see if Raymond Ford can show some consistency as a champion now against a tough. It's a great card. The more I'm talking about it out loud, the more I'm like, you know, I want to go. But the thing is, the Stanley Cup final will be around that time, and I think the Florida Panthers will be in the Stanley Cup final. So if I go, I'm gonna have to rush to get back home, because I'm not missing the Stanley Cup final for nobody, nothing, not a damn thing. So we'll see how it goes. But let me know where you guys are watching from. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We got 29 likes. Somebody hit the like button so we get 30 likes. Alonzo says, not to sound like a hater, but I'm jealous that Mario Barrios is with Brandon Figueroa's sister. I mean, hey, God bless them. I ain't got much to say than God bless them. You know, that's all I'll say. I wish everybody nothing but the best. Luis Ortiz says he wants an Anderson fight. And yeah, he was answering Bob Arum's call out, because Bob Arum was like, if any fighter in the heavyweight division wants to fight Jared Anderson, let us know at Top Rank. And then so Luis Ortiz basically went ahead and said he's gonna go ahead and he wants to fight. So I think Ortiz would take the fight. I don't think Ortiz would duck smoke. He's fought plenty of guys. He's fought Wilder. He's fought Andy Ruiz. He's fought Bryant Jennings. He's got a good resume. So that was a fight that they should have made instead of this. Instead of Mary, I remember Ortiz was on the short list of guys that he could have fought, and they went with Mary, which I thought when I heard it, I'm like, yo, that fight is gonna be trash, and it was even more trash than I thought it would be. Because how do you reconcile a guy that lost to Tony Yoka, who, by the way, Tony Yoka is not a very good heavyweight at the elite level, and got knocked out by the weakest champion at cruiserweight? How do you reconcile that guy as an opponent for the next American heavyweight champion? I mean, come on. Anderson is not ready for Luis Ortiz. Well, look, I think it'd be a good fight. He's got a chance because Luis Ortiz is old. We know those legs aren't the strongest. So that's where Anderson has a chance. But, I mean, you're talking about a southpaw, educated counterpuncher. We saw when he fought a southpaw that could counterpunch a little bit with Charles Martin, who had heavy hands. A guy like Ortiz who could be very, very problematic and dangerous for Jared Anderson. So I'm glad you guys are bringing that one up, because I got to do a video on that. Ortiz wants to smoke. He wants to show the world that, hey, he's still here. And could you guys imagine that? Could you imagine Luis Ortiz ruining Top Rank's #1 heavyweight prospect, the last American heavyweight hope, the next Riddick Bowe? I mean, could you imagine that? That'd be pretty crazy. But either way, I think it'd be a good test for Jared to show what he could do, what he could really do, against a seasoned top upper echelon. We know he's past it. We know he's not fighting the Luis Ortiz from 2015, from 9 years ago, but still, it's a guy that knows his way around the boxing ring and is experienced. Raw Dog wants to know, will Andy Ruiz come back and be a threat? No. That ship has sailed. Andy Ruiz has been pricing himself up. He's pricing himself out of every fight. He's ducked Philip Hrgovic twice for the IBF Eliminator. So he's not a serious fighter anymore. And it's sad because Andy Ruiz, obviously, when he's locked in and focused, he's a real talent, a real threat, a real problem for anybody in the division. Fast hands, counter puncher, tough as nails, brings a lot to that ring. But it's just been all the bullshit out the ring that's been hindering him from being his best in the ring. So that's how it goes. Ruiz versus Wilder would have been an amazing fight, especially 2020 or 2021. Amazing. Ismail Bermudez says he's from Vineland, New Jersey. Keep up the good work. Shout out to New Jersey. Shakur Stevenson, Raymond Ford, Ian Green, April 27th, Don King. That's my favorite fighter from New Jersey, Ian Green. My favorite middleweight and my favorite fighter from New Jersey. Hyro says, will you bring the panels back? Potentially. We'll stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. We got things in the works. Champ. I think Ruiz still has some left in the tank. Well, we'll never know if he doesn't take a fight. It's all well and good to have things left in the tank, but you gotta take a fight. You gotta fight, brother. You gotta sign a contract. And you can't be unrealistic. Like, look, he hasn't fought for 2 years now. Alex wants to see Big Baby versus Franklin. Jared Anderson. I mean, look, that's probably that sounds like a very top ranked type of matchup. A good fight. But I don't want a good fight. I want like a real, genuine top 15 contender. Because my thing is this: you're in the top 15. You said you're coming to beat everybody. They can't baby you. So it's like, come on, get to it. Fight someone. Fight some real smoke in the top 15. And show and prove what you're made of. You can't, tired of this shit with Jared Anderson. Honestly. He said Red Glove Militant is live. Pull up after the show. I gotta take care of some stuff, but I'll probably tune in and say what's up. I haven't been on this channel in a while, but shout out to Red Glove Militant. I hope he's well. He's been I haven't seen him in the chat in a long time, but he's been a long time viewer of the channel, and I got a lot of respect for him, because he's said very good things about me in the past, which I never forgot about. So I got a long memory, good and bad, for the good and the bad, and I remember the good with him. So hope he's doing well. He's 34. I believe Ruiz will fight this year. what do you think would be a potential opponent for him, like in the PBC side of things? Like who does he wind up fighting? Because he's going to have to go to Saudi. He's already been to Saudi before. He lost the Joshua rematch to Saudi. But Hyro says, if Jared Anderson had shoes on, he would have passed the sobriety test. Yeah, I personally thought he passed it, and they was hating on him. They were just looking to arrest his ass. But listen, he put himself in a very disadvantageous position. You know, he smelled like marijuana, apparently, according to the cops, and there was Hennessy on the floor of his car, and he had a gun on him, and it was just like, it was registered apparently. So you know, he was all right. He was fine. But you know, you in life, not just in life, you can't put yourself in disadvantageous positions ever. You gotta always try to put yourself in the best position to not be caught up in dumb shit and get arrested and have things in life that are gonna really hinder you. And he did that, and that's his cross to bear. That's his mistake, and hopefully he learns from it. We all make mistakes. We all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and hopefully he gets better. He said, yeah, he needs to fight Franklin and stay away from Ortiz. Better get a couple more tune-ups. Nah, man, fight Ortiz. Listen, man, look, if you can't be an old, decrepit, shot to pieces Luis Ortiz, you don't deserve to ever sniff a heavyweight title. So, no. I like Jermaine Franklin. Got a lot of respect for him. Like him a lot as a person. But to heck with him right now. He needs to fight King Kong. He needs to deal with an experienced southpaw counterpuncher who's been to the mountain, who's fought the best in the division. Because that's going to tell you more about where his ability is more than Jermaine Franklin. No disrespect to Jermaine Franklin. I'm just telling you, that's just what it is. Jermaine Franklin is a fighter that's a low output guy, not a big puncher. That's the perfect matchup. That's the matchup that's tailor made to look Jared Anderson look like $1 million. Nah, man, you gotta show and prove, brother. But shout out to everybody here, man. It's your boy BT, the Untouchable True School Sports Empire. Got 3 minutes left, so get your last questions in, and I'm gonna start wrapping it up soon because I am getting a little tired. It's been a long day today, longer day tomorrow, long week ahead. But yeah, I actually, you know what? I'm gonna start wrapping it up now, and then you guys can comment whatever you want. But look, last time I will say this, okay? Please, guys, if you want to enter into the raffle, go to the community post. All right. Find the post about the raffle where it says special announcement. Comment down below with your name to enter the drawing for a chance to win these one-of-a-kind Naoya Inoue newspapers, all right? Like that one right there, or this one right here from the Tapalo's fight, all right? Your name will be entered in a hat to win it, and if not that, this Terrence Crawford picture frame with my prediction on it, which was dead accurate, you know? One-of-a-kind boxing memorabilia for the boxing fans. To wrap up, to get close, wrapping up our 90 Days of Boxing live series. That'll be tomorrow for day 89. Day number 90, we're closing it out with a bang because you guys know Sean Zettel started his own YouTube channel. It's the beginning of the Zettel True School Zettel era for content creation. So he'll be here Thursday to close it out. So that's what it is. Listen, on that note, look, you guys take care. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet for the live. Because, again, I already bought my tickets for the Florida Panthers Game 1 and Game 2 for the playoffs against the Lightning. So I'm going to be at that. I don't even know what's going on. I'm going to that. So if it falls during the Ryan fight, then it is what it is. I'll have to miss the Ryan fight versus Devin. It's going to end by DQ anyway. But if I miss it, there will be a live after the fight, no matter what time I get home. And if the Panthers play on Sunday, then there will just be a regular live on Saturday for the fight. So once I know when the Panthers play, you guys will know if I'll be live Saturday or not for Ryan. But listen, on that note, you guys take care. Continue to support the channel, all that good stuff. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.